I want to say it was a life changing thing that happened in my life where I got like I had a stroke and
Oh
I
gosh.
almost died.
Oh
Yes,
gosh.
I lost consciousness for a whole.
Hi world, welcome back to another episode of Emo Talk Show. Thank you so much for coming back. I hope you all are doing well in the midst of everything that's happening in the United States. I hope you're staying safe and alongside your family and all that. Today here on Emo Talk Show, we're going to be discussing embracing authenticity. And Ralph Waldo Emerson once said that being yourself in a world that constantly tries to change who you are and make you something else is the greatest accomplishment of all. And so today we are talking just about that today with Trudy here, who's a show host and does an amazing job. So I'm so really happy to just have her here with us and to share a thing or two with you guys. So yeah, introduce yourself, what you do, where you're from, and anything you'd like us to know. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So, again, as you've heard, I am a show host at Conversational Lounge Media. So, being here is definitely uncomfortable for me. This is me stepping out of my comfort zone, as you should too next time we invite you to
Yes.
outside of that, I am an entrepreneur and I also have a corporate job. So, you can never just be boxed in one thing.
No,
This
no.
is who you are. There's so many aspects that come into being you. Hence the topic today, being authentically you and embracing that. It's not easy, but that's what we're gonna tackle today.
Oh yeah. And she just said it. It's not easy. So the very first question I'd like to ask is why is it difficult for people to have the same persona at work, at church, or at home, wherever they may be in the different spaces that they find themselves in? Why is it difficult for people to be themselves?
That is actually a really good question. Because let's face it, and I'm going to give an analogy. Let's face it, we all wear undergarments, right? But then you will not just walk out your door wearing your undergarments because what? You don't want to be judged or you don't want to offend someone or there's just so many things that comes with just you parading your undergarments outside. And I think it goes to say that we know who we are, we really do. But then it's more about if I expose who I am to the world, am I gonna get judged? Am I gonna get put down? And then so if I get put down in by me being me, then what else do I have?
So it's almost like it's about making other people feel comfortable.
Right. Right. And that is the thing. That's what makes people wanna protect who they are so they don't ruffle the feathers when they're walking. So it's kind of like more fitting into your environment as opposed to standing out and showcasing who you truly are. So yes, it is difficult.
And from what you're saying, I'm understanding that like it's the need to like belong in certain spaces to be able to relate to other people. And so like you can't expose who you truly are inside because if you do, then can you still relate to those people? Can those people welcome you in your space? Um, will they be comfortable with the truth that you are, or with the persona that you are? And so I truly agree that it's about belonging, finding that sense of belonging, and that's why we back ourselves differently at work. And for me personally, I feel like in the past few years I've begun to be more of myself in different spaces, more than I have been in the past. I'm a Bembe tribes woman, and like in places that I go to, I always think of like, where if my Bembe people see this? You know, it's like if they see it, they're going to say, "Hey, like she's
acting
become
this way."
Yeah, she's become rebellious, and so like I have to like in the back of my mind, even if I don't say it out loud, it's like I somewhat go out looking how they would want to see me.
Yes, you're portraying this image that
And
is
so
safe for the world.
For them to be comfortable with. And I've recently like started to tell myself, you know what? This is me and they can F it if they don't like this me. And it's like it's freeing. It really is freeing to the extent that like, okay, I am a person that's very outgoing
Mm-hmm.
at my job, like everybody knows, like if you needed to talk to somebody, that somebody is gonna be Talia. Like
Uh-huh.
she can hold your stuff down, but at the same time, she's gonna be able to tell you the truth,
Uh-huh.
regardless of how that truth may like be hurtful at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be helpful for you. So yeah.
Exactly.
What about you? Have you felt like how has that journey been for you?
Absolutely. So, and I completely agree with what you just said because it truly comes from within. It comes from the inside, and to be able to even come to that level of, hey, I'm just gonna work out, and this is gonna be who I am. It comes with a level of growth. It comes with a level of maturity, and it also comes with a level of experience.
Oh, yeah.
So you've lived your life. You've tried to morph into all this. At church, I'm acting a certain way. At school, at work. So you've been morphing and morphing and morphing. It gets to a point where you've been morphing to a point where you lose your own identity and you're thinking, who am I? And then you're acting depending on the strongest person in that group. So when you start to truly embrace yourself and realize I am like I am bald and whatever your characteristics are, then people actually the world will change. People will actually morph to that. So what we're not realizing is we're morphing for other people that have already embraced their own authenticity. So we're like, oh yeah, when I'm around this person, I need to act this way. But when you act your way, then when they're around you, then they will be changing for you.
Yeah. And the other thing I think we don't understand is that like there is power within. Like we are so powerful, and that like what we bring to the table matters.
Yes.
What we have to say and what we have to contribute to the world matters so much that like when we are not able to contribute, we are allowing the struggles to continue, the battles that are being fought to continue because we choose to remain silent. Just like Martin Luther King said, the world is what it is today because good people choose not to do something about it. And so when you're sitting there and you're not living your truth and you're not doing what you're meant to be doing because you're saying, well, will they accept me? It's like they got to.
Yes.
You will enter the room, and when you reveal your true self to them, the people that are for you will stick around. And the people that are not for you, they will bounce.
Thank you. And that is a perfect segue because again, it's important to find out who you are and bring that out because of that exact same reason of you have so many people at your table. Not all of them are for you, but then the sooner you are like you are who you are truly, then truly people will gravitate towards who you are that are truly meant for you. And then those people who truly, okay, this energy is not for me.
They will keep the distance.
They will exit sooner than later.
Yeah.
So like let them exit sooner than later. Like why would you want to wait till you're 95 to
be disappointed?
Yeah.
To be disappointed that oh my gosh, this was you this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like right off of that, I would like to ask like how can one go about understanding what they bring to this table that we talk about? How do you just go about beginning this journey? And I'm pretty sure this has happened for you. So like, how did you go knowing that I'm Trudy, this is what I have to offer. And this is how I feel about coming to your table, coming to your space. This is what I have to offer you. And so what do you have to offer me?
Right.
Yeah.
I really love this question because it's a combination of things. It's a journey of self-discovery. So listen to what people are saying about you and listen to the good compliments that people are giving you because that is what they're seeing about you. Listen to how people introduce you to other people. Like, hey, meet Tulia, who is she is a good friend of mine. Just listen to those cues, and that is a good place to even start. Like,
because that's what portrayed out to people.
That's what you've portrayed.
Yeah.
And then the other part of that, so there's the community helping you discover yourself, but then there's also the other big part where you're discovering
The inner
yourself.
discovery.
Yes, which is a long journey. We gotta embark
It's
on
a
it.
lifelong one. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with this one, I was lucky. I want to say about 5 or 8 years ago, and I was introduced to Clifton Strength Finders. So this is a test. It's about an hour or two long that you take, and once you're done with that test, it will tell you, these are your top 5 strengths.
Oh yeah.
And so with that, Clifton, the guy who designed the whole course and the whole test, he believes that there are 34 talents out there. He calls them talents. But then focusing on just your top 5, I mean, you could have your number 10 strength, but just focusing on your top 5, you will be taking something that you're born with this strength. It's a part of you. So you're taking something that you're really good at. And when you work on it, you're taking something from good to great. So really, that is a good journey of you're really working on what you're already. This is who you are. So hey, I'm gonna be excited to do this. And then with that, Clifton Strength Finders 2, it breaks it down into 4 categories. So you have, the relationship skills. So those are something that, maybe you're a positive person, maybe, you have competition, maybe you have, this is things that enables you or to make and build relationships. Other strengths are more into the execution. You're like an achiever or, just whatever. It's the things that gets you from the thinking phase to like, okay, now let's do it. Yes, and it's part of who you are. Some other strengths, there's just so many different types, but he breaks it down perfectly. So I really learned so much from that. And I'll be honest with you, when I took that test the first time, I got my top 5 and I was like, no, I don't like this report card.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, this is not who I am. And he says that no, you can take it 10 times and you'll still get the same
those
results.
personality tests, they do such an amazing job. Recently, I did one. I don't remember what it was called, but it was based on colors, and I was a color orange and a yellow. And I said, "But I'm a teacher. How can I be an orange?" I said, "What? I'm not like empathetic or anything like that." It was my second one, but I was just like so heartbroken. I said, "I'm a teacher. Like, how can I be like this boldness? Like, I'm always wanting to ask questions and stuff. Always wanting to do something outside of the norm." And I was like, I mean, I do that too, but like, I thought that would be my second one. And so I was like, can I take it again? And she's like, you're really good. It's a results. Don't even go about it. But those are great. Those are really great. Yes. Is there anything else that you've done outside of like taking personality tests and like investing in that? And then, taking that as a step to learning like, this is what I'm seeing on a test. Or maybe what was your next step after you found out your results? Right. So of course the first was, this is not me. But when you truly, so it really breaks it down. It tells you, let's say one of yours is positivity. It will tell you this is your strength. And it will give you information about that. But it will also tell you that your strengths are also your weaknesses. Oh. So when someone asks you what are your weaknesses, your strengths can be your weaknesses. Okay. Yes. How so? Because let's just use positivity for example. So you're such a positive person, you see the good in people. But then the negative to that could be you can distance yourself from the negative energies because you're thinking, okay, so you're just bringing my negativity or my positivity down. Yes, I bring positivity to this table, but I'm not a therapist. I don't come to cure all the negativity. So if you're continuing to pull me down, it could be a point where you're now distancing yourself from people that you could be helping. So it could be, and that's just a really bad example. No, I also think like it could be that. So your strength could also be your weaknesses in the way that, for example, let's say you say positivity, right? If you see the best in people, it is likely that like people could take you for granted. And so like you have a lot of heartbreaks and just a lot that happens that you're like, oh my gosh, like you just get hurt a lot. So I could see that also being like a negative. Yeah.
And also, a perfect example actually is, let's say you're a problem solver. You just automatically, your mind goes to problem solving. So someone might call you, they really honestly just want to vent. And you're over here solutioning.
Oh yeah,
Solutioning.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
But
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Right, but it just takes you knowing that and then using that as a vehicle. It's a roadmap. It's giving you this is a little bit of what you have innate in you, and then you can just work on that. You can start reading books. You can start, go like not learning more about those, and also just interacting with people
and spending time with yourself. I would say is a big one. I think a lot of people are afraid to spend time by themselves with their brains and their bodies. That people find it awkward when you say I have a date with myself. Like
self-care.
People could go to dates with their friends, with their boyfriends, with their family, but could never go on a date with themselves. It's so important for people to like spend that time with yourself, because then you get to know, like, I'm this type of person and I'm this. Another thing that I've seen, I don't know if this happens in the Kenyan community, but in the Congolese community, girls don't usually move out of their parents' house until marriage. And so like they don't get to know like what are their negative traits. For me, this past year have been like very eye-opening. I know that I don't like to do my laundry for like every now and then. I like to do it all together. Everything is dirty. And like I wouldn't have found that out had I been at my parents' house, because at my mom's house, like that's her house. Like I have to do things to please my mom.
Yeah.
Like this is what my mom would like, so I'm doing it because of her. And so I think like being able to have personal space to get to know yourself, because we think we know ourselves until you are left all alone for a good 24 hours and you're like, shit, what am I supposed to do now?
Right.
You have no discipline, you have none of that. And so like giving yourself personal time allows you to know the things that like you don't often do, like the things that you wouldn't otherwise know, because you're people pleasing. You're doing this for this person, you're doing that for that person, and you're doing that for that person. So I just think that's that would be another one to add to that.
Right.
But
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because you had asked like what else outside of that, and mine goes exactly what you just said. It's like finding yourself. So with me, something actually happened. Like I want to say it was a life changing thing that happened in my life where I had a stroke and I almost died.
Oh gosh.
I lost consciousness for a whole 24 hours, or was it 48 hours? I don't remember. I just remember looking at the clock and seeing it's 4 p.m. And in my head, I was thinking, okay, I was saying it's 4 a.m. because we're still in the emergency room, whatever. And that was it. So the last time I woke up, I looked at the clock and the room was filled with so many people. I was like, I am so sorry you're still here at this early. They're like, no, this is the next day at 4 p.m. Yes. But anyway, that moment is what transformed me to a point where, you know what, I am living my second life right now. And if I didn't appreciate my life back then, or I was still afraid to enjoy life or just be who I am, I think this is the second time that clearly I have a reason why I'm here. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to use it to just spread the positivity and change the world in a good way, where I'm allowing people to share their stories and being that change that I want and being that positive person to help someone else. I don't know. So it takes a lot of things to really transform a person.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that. That's such a big thing. Oh my gosh, you're so young. Thank you for sharing that, because I think sometimes we don't realize like anything could happen. Anything can happen. And that's why I say, I'd be like, you either like me or you don't like me. Because at the end of the day, who knows what time I have here?
Right.
You know, for me to sit here and not be myself. Like, I was talking to a couple of my friends this past week, and they're saying like, it would be a struggle, like to do something that you enjoy doing is a struggle. Like life altogether is a struggle, right? And you're doing something that you enjoy to do. And so like, it's a struggle, but it's a struggle that's worthwhile. Whereas if you're doing something because somebody else wants you to do it, or like let's say your mom wants you to be a doctor, and despite being a doctor,
African parents, you listen.
but this is what you want to like. You want to please your parents, and so you go out and you become a doctor, and yeah. So like it's like you go ahead and you start doing this thing, and you're having a struggle that's worthless, something that will bring like resentment to you with your parents or with whoever that you're doing it for, because you're not doing it for yourself. So altogether, I just think everybody needs to be, even if it's the little things that you know about yourself, go ahead and leave it out, because at the end of the day, you come in the earth and learn alone, you're gonna die alone. Might as well do stuff for you.
Right.
Just do stuff for you.
Yeah.
Anyways, I have one more question here for you, and it's how can we strive knowing that we are worthy and we bring value to spaces?
That's a deep question. And I'll take this angle. You don't have a photocopy of you. And if our thumbprints and our fingerprints can teach us anything, is that we're very uniquely, each one of us. So if you live your life trying to be like your mom or trying to be like your friend or someone else, really you're wasting your fingerprints. Like go out there and be you. Be authentically you and embrace who you are, because at the end of the day, there can only be one of you.
Oh yeah.
And I saw a quote, and I really like this quote because it said, be yourself, the world will adjust.
Oh yeah. Listen, I love that. I love that. And that's a good point to close on. And to all the African kids out there, it is okay to be African. It is a beautiful thing. It's a magnificent thing to be African. Like there is nothing like being African. We are vibrant people. We are full of culture, and our culture is good or bad. We make it what we want it to be. And so like go out there, and whether it be in your elementary school, middle school, high school, college, leave the truth of being African. Like there is nothing wrong with being African, struggles and all. Africa is a beautiful continent with so much richness to it. And when we are not able to like give that to the world is missing out, because we are the missing puzzle of the world, point blank period. So yeah, you guys heard it from Judy. Go ahead and be your real self. Leave your authenticity. Nobody can do that for you. You bring so much value into this world. You matter. And if you are not living your honest self, then we're missing out. And we'd love to like be a part of what you are, who you are, and what you bring to the table. So yeah, just do that. And thank you guys for watching today. I know this is short, but it was so lovely. I enjoyed every moment of it. But before we close off, I'd like Judy to go ahead and tell us your social media handle. Where could people find you? You have a YouTube channel, your Instagram. Go ahead and share all that stuff with us, and you can talk to that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. So I am a host as well at Conversational Lounge Media, and you can find me at withtrudy.com. And when you go to the website, you'll have all my social media links. You'll have my YouTube channel. You'll have everything you need. So just navigate to withtrudy.com. And if any of the stories there inspire you and motivate you, hey, share with anybody else, because that's exactly why we do what we do. It's not for us. We do it so we can inspire others and reach more people, and really open a platform where people can come and tell their own stories, their own way. So we're not here sitting with, this is how Africa looks like, or this is how America looks like. No, it's someone's story, telling them authentically, and we can learn a thing or two from it. So again, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. That was so great. Thank you guys so much. Come again next time. Please, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, share with others that you feel like it could be helpful for. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and come again next time, because you know what? Amo Talk Show is the place to be at, is the place to learn, is the place to open up yourself. And again, it is up to you to take the conversation to your doorsteps. Much love.